All right, welcome back to Smile Jamaica, everybody. School will be opening in September, and already students and parents are anxious about what that will look like. This morning, we're going to be sharing our views on, I guess, what we think it will look like and how it will affect everyone involved. It is a very, very serious issue, and that anxiety is not a joke. It's real. Parents are dealing with sending their children back, deciding whether they should send their children back. If their kids have underlying conditions, they're nervous about that. What this new normal in the schools will look like, and the fact that largely schools seem to be making decisions themselves. There's a bulletin that the ministry sent out. Now, what's this, Harris?
This bulletin was...
Don't know if it's dated.
Yeah, it's just...
But it's the most recent one, July 22, 2020. What are some of the things that they said?
Well, one of the first things is that the first week is going to be a simulation week. Schools should have a day for each year group of students to attend school to simulate or to be orientated to the acceptable practices and safety guidelines to be observed. So this will allow for a full test of the systems in place to manage the spread.
Okay. So that's supposed to be the 7th to 11th of September.
Depending on school type and size, 2 different year groups of students may be accommodated on the same day. Maybe. So there's a simulation week where it's reasonable.
They feel out. That's
where they feel it out. Yeah. So instead of everybody coming and then you're realizing that there's a problem, they have a week where they feel it out and see what happens.
Okay.
So that's not so bad.
Then they're saying the 14th to the 25th of September, only the upper school students should report to school. That's grades 4 to 6 for primary and grades 9 to 11 for secondary schools. So that's 1 week clear for the upper schools, so they can, I guess, feel out that part as well.
Yeah. And then September 28th, grades 1 to 3 and 7 to 8 should resume school. So I guess it's 1 to 3 primary, 7 to 8 secondary should resume school.
And then 12 to 13 should report to face-to-face classes October 26, 2020, which is a significant push down in the term, no?
A huge push down in the term.
So I wonder how that CXE results will be released September 22.
Yeah.
This will be utilized to determine the 6th form pathway that each student will pursue. It says during the above phased activities, the teaching and learning activities should be guided by the approved curriculum implementation guides and as models, as well as the diagnostic assessment tools to be provided by the ministry. They say they stand ready to provide technical report and technical support and guidance needed by all stakeholders.
I should ask, when will the CAPE results come out? Because wouldn't that affect the students who are hoping to advance to tertiary?
Would that be around the same time that CXEs
That's what I'm wondering. Usually it is. So I don't know. I'm assuming that if CXE is end of September, CAPE might be as well, but end of September is almost mid-semester.
Correct.
In tertiary.
What about iterations of teaching though? What have you been hearing? I know your ears are to the ground, especially with the JTA. Have you heard anything as far as their guidance is concerned with what the classrooms should look like, how the protocols will be observed? I mean,
basically, what I've been hearing is just that schools, as you say, are trying to figure it out on their own. That each school, depending on how they're set up, they're trying to find different ways. There's a student in his mass. I saw someone yesterday say, so I don't know if it's true, that there are some schools that are now insisting that students pay for branded masks.
What?
That the mask
as part of the uniform?
School logo. Yeah. And I'm hoping that's a rumor. Because we couldn't in COVID-19 time, when this is a matter of sickness or health,
and also that students parents' have pockets.
To. Yeah, if the parent can afford it, that's cool. But I don't think that, as a matter of fact, if the ministry is giving grants to the schools, maybe that should be part of it, that the students get a mask. That should, because you don't want a child, because they don't have money, to not have one. Or to feel like them have to tie a kerchief. Although if it's a kerchief, you have to tie, Papa.
It's a kerchief.
Tie your kerchief and go on to school.
It's a kerchief.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's tough. We don't have the resources. I've seen some schools, not here, overseas, put up the plastic shields around the desks and around the teachers.
But it's costly.
But it is costly.
And if you have 40 or 50 students in one class,
it's a lot.
As do most of our classrooms, that's a lot of expenditure.
Here's an example.
I know schools setting up hand washing stations on the outside before kids come in. They're taking temperatures, which I guess are part of the established protocols. So I guess all schools will have to acquire that kind of equipment and infrastructure. I know there are some schools that are equipping their children. Well, you really have to buy it with face masks, the shields, I'm sorry, as well as the masks. Putting, what you call those things at the door to make sure you wash your feet before you, or wash the bottom of your shoes before you step into the classroom. I know schools moving kids outdoors so that they can socially distance and that they're in the open air, because you know this thing about air conditioning and recycled air.
And see an important aspect there, sanitizing before and after class. So the ancillary team, there's more work is going to be placed on the ancillary team. So maybe you need more people in schools to do the ancillary work. So, you know, I really just hope we've sat down and really worked it out. And that September morning, we not run up and down and get crazy, because the children have gone through enough. And September really needs to start with some kind of steadying of the ship and calmness. So let's see.
Especially for the kids who are heading into an exam year.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.